The Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial has concluded. The verdict is in. Johnny Depp has won overall. It is said that Amber Heard owes Johnny Depp $15 million in damages, and Amber Heard owes Johnny Depp $2 million in damages. When it comes down to it, those aren't the real numbers according to certain state laws, not actually the breakdown and how much they actually owe.
Right. So the jury themselves, it was interesting because like the jury also came out and then they like didn't properly fill out all the paperwork. So then they had to go back in and finish it when everyone was watching the reading. So the jury awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. And that $5 million is actually reduced to $350,000 because Virginia's law just has a cap for punitive damages, and that's at $350,000. So so it's a little over $10 million for Johnny Depp, and then Heard $2 million in compensatory damages for the counterclaim. And so they read the verdict out loud. It was like the three statements. The jury had found that Heard had defamed Depp with each of the three statements that were in the op-ed. And then the jury found that Heard had acted with, quote, actual malice, meaning that they were convinced she had made the statements knowing they were false. And then the jury ruled in favor of Heard on one of the three statements that she had countersued on, one being a statement that was made by Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman, in the Daily Mail when he had said that Heard and her friends had set up an ambush, a hoax, like basically saying that the abuse claims were like a hoax when police were called to the couple's apartment in May 2016. So the jury ruled that that was defamatory, so she gets the $2 million there, but everything that she had written in the op-ed in the original case of Depp suing her for defamation from the op-ed, the jury ruled on all three statements that, yes, they were defamatory.
So, obviously, Amber Heard lied a lot throughout this trial. I think that is quite obvious. Here's my whole take on this situation.
Yeah.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp both released their own statements. Johnny Depp said, after 6 years, he is finally free and people know the truth.
Giving his life back.
And Amber Heard released a statement that this whole thing set back women.
Yeah.
And that
she is going to appeal.
And she's going to appeal. And, God, it's so tiring.
Yeah.
And she also said that she, believes in freedom of speech and that she didn't know that her right was taken away of freedom of speech. Defaming someone is not really freedom of speech. You can't. That's why people get sued over those things, because you can't do that, which is clear because she now owes Johnny Depp $15 million for doing so. In the court of law, clearly you can't. It doesn't fall under freedom of speech. So obviously, I think she lied a lot. The issue with what I have though is that people are propping up Johnny Depp as some sort of hero here. Like, they're like, Johnny Depp can do no wrong. He's a hero. Go Johnny. And it's like, Johnny Depp also said some really fucked up things about murdering Amber Heard and fucking her corpse and throwing her dead body in the back of a trunk.
Freedom of speech.
It's just, I'm just like, I just think, am I really going to be like all for somebody who yes, Amber Heard lied and she definitely shouldn't get away with that. And it's very clear that she's not getting away with that because Johnny Depp won the case. Yeah, totally fair. But I just don't think, like, the way that people are like propping Johnny Depp up as some sort of hero, I'm like, I think that it was a very toxic relationship and there was some mutual craziness. Maybe Amber Heard a little bit more crazy and lied a lot, but Johnny Depp still, said and did some messed up things. Maybe not exactly what Amber Heard said he did,
right?
But he's no hero.
When you look at the bigger picture of their relationship, yes, it is very clear that it was mutually very toxic. When it comes down to the fundamental reason for this lawsuit, it you can understand how they got to this point.
Absolutely.
And this is what's crazy to me too, is that, and this is what Amber's lawyer is very much arguing, which I can totally understand, is just the insane fascination from the media and public over this case, and how it was basically turned into entertainment, and how it went on for so long that the jury was able to go home on, after work and and see what people are saying and see what's going on. And basically Amber's lawyer is saying, like, there's no way that outside opinion didn't influence this in some way from the discussions that were coming from this case. They had kept referencing back to the Sun, and when Johnny Depp sued the Sun for calling him a wife beater, and he lost that case. And like how these are different, and it's very hard to sue a newspaper, like media company, like for those things as well. And this is, suing a person. So as much as people like thought that this was going to happen, it did feel very shocking that it was unanimous across the board, that they all, the entire jury felt this way, and everyone agreed on how this went down. And on top of that, I do think like Johnny Depp's lawyers were incredible. They knew exactly what they were doing. They had a great plan when it felt like Amber's lawyers weren't quite as prepared. And that plays a major part. That, like, you can really sway a jury depending on how you make your case and how your lawyers present your case. And it just is crazy, like you said, that it does feel like such a massive victory for Johnny. But there's just the case as a whole, like just as a case study, is going to be looked at for a very long time by how much this blew up on the outside.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, when it comes down to just the case, when you're like, the fundamentals of the case are Amber Heard defamed Johnny Depp, and that's what he was suing for. It's like, okay, yes, she did.
Yeah.
Done. He wins that, right? It's more about the bigger picture of people just like propping Johnny Depp on a pedestal,
right,
when it's like, you don't have to do that in order to say that Amber Heard was wrong.
Right.
And I think that people, especially now, have a really hard time thinking for themselves, and they also think that everything has to be one side or the other, and that you can't really be in between, on certain,
or that your opinion can't change.
Yeah, or that your opinion, or like certain situations you can't see both sides of, like when you very much can. I think it's like a hive mind mentality where, this extreme love and support for Johnny Depp came out, and everyone's shitting on Amber Heard, so then it piles on more people and more people and more people, and they like want to be a part of something, so they're like, let's all just like shit on Amber Heard, and we're all against Amber Heard, and we're all for Johnny Depp. And it's like, you could be against Amber Heard and what she did and how she lied, while also not being like, oh my God, Johnny Depp is the best person ever.
Yeah. Like,
you could see both sides a little bit. And I'm not saying there is really that much of a side. Clearly now on it, it's very clear that Amber Heard lied, and it was unanimous and all of that. Like, the facts were there, and Johnny Depp's lawyers brought up all the facts. But it's just crazy to me to see people like really...
Yeah, just because they were able to prove that doesn't mean there wasn't emotional stress and strains that they both put on each other in that relationship with the words they used against each other. We know that was bad, and I'm sure they got into, crazy fights and the effects that had, and what led Amber to get to this point. But yeah, it's nuts. And you see the conversation of like how this, because it's such a public thing, how does this affect people going forward and women speaking up in the future? And is this something that would make women say, well, why would I ever try and do something when look at what happened to Johnny Depp, So it's crazy, but it's also hard. You have to like separate all the situations where you hope that women still feel like they can stand up and voice these things, but also like not compare everything back to other cases. Like everybody's story is different. And
Not
Amber
everyone,
Heard,
not everyone is a liar like Amber Heard.
It's just like she got caught in a lot of lies during this entire thing. So